Hey, everybody. Welcome to this really quick live broadcast. And Jonathan Davis, he is a Team Rubicon member. But that's not why we have him here, because he's doing some really cool stuff. And Jonathan and his wife have created, or not created, but they're making straps to go in the back of your head to keep the straps off your ears for the surgical masks. And it's one of those things that's very important for people who use them all day long: EMTs, nurses, doctors, paramedics, so forth and so on. And I know that I have some friends who are in the field, and they've been talking about how these masks are really irritating. And I saw one girl, she made these things, I guess they're called space buns, and so for those that have hair, like, because I'm losing mine, you can see those that they can make these little space buns, and that's how she was keeping the masks off her hair, off her ears. But however, guys like me who have a little bit thinning up on top here won't be able to make space buns. So Jonathan and his wife are now creating, what are they called, Jonathan?
They're called ear saver straps.
Ear saver straps. They're awesome. So Jonathan, welcome to the Ian Weekly Live.
Thank you for having me.
So we're talking just before we went on air here about how you started this thing, and I know you got to share the story again, but it's really important. How did you start making these straps?
Sure. So my wife approached me. Her name's Lisa, and she approached me that she was inspired by the actions of this 12-year-old kid who's been 3D making these straps. And it's one of those things like, if he can do it, why can't we? With the Neighbors Helping Neighbors initiative that's taking place with Team Rubicon, a lot of us are stuck at home. I'm stuck at home, and I'm usually out and about with TR, covering, stories that are taking place with our gray shirts. So to be able to do something while at home, being, during the stay at home process, we can help our doctors, nurses, and first responders that are out there during this COVID-19 pandemic. My sister-in-law, she works at Riverside Community Hospital. She's on the front lines right now, treating potential patients who have COVID-19. And I've seen pictures of her with her, the mask strap and even the goggles that are just cinched up to her face really tight all day. And if these straps that we're making can alleviate some of that pressure off the ears, if it makes our doctors and nurses and first responders a little bit more comfortable out there, why not make these? And so we're rolling out our production of making these, to, especially in the Inland Empire here in Southern California, making it available to them.
Now, did you have like a 3D printer sitting around that you played with, or did you go out and buy one specifically to make these for this cause?
No, once we are motivated to do this, we went out and bought not just one 3D printer, but two 3D printers. To help support our folks who are on the front lines in this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm a tech geek, and I've always wanted a 3D printer. And to jump into this last week, learning how to do this whole process has been a challenge for me. This isn't like a printer you go and, set up and put on next to your computer to print paper. There's tons of calibration that needs to be done. There's math, there's temperature, there's speed. You had to hone in on making sure you're in the right settings to produce these effectively.
Right.
So right now, as of this morning, we've made about 250 of these straps. And right now we're about an 80% success rate in our prints. We normally print, one machine prints 5 at a time. We have another one, our larger one, that prints about 10.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's about 80%. So we lose about, 1 or 2 straps every so often. But we keep those straps in case we need to, we can donate those to our local folks who are out doing errands and who we see out there that might be struggling with the ear strap. But our target audience is doctors, nurses, and emergency and first responders who are, who are wearing these all day.
Right. Yeah. I went to Office Depot the other day to buy ink for my printer at home, and yeah, you never know how much ink you start using until you start using it, right? And I noticed they all had masks on as well, so that's a cool thing to have those other ones that aren't as strong, maybe for the
Mm-hmm.
nurse doctors to give to people like that are still having to have those masks on all day long and
Right.
be able to take them off their ears. How do how did you find out like who needed them and to roll them out? Like, did you just I mean, you said your sister-in-law's a nurse, but there's more to that. How did you start, you know, actually just deploying them out there?
So right now we're, I just posted on social media on that we're out there trying to help, and our first batch was given to a EMT down in Imperial Beach in Southern California. And, when she received them, she shared her story to us saying that this has significantly improved their way of life while they're out there. Because her plan was to give them to Pacific people, but then as her being an EMT, she saw nurses and doctors that were struggling when she would get to the hospitals. One story that she shared with me was she showed up at a hospital, noticed a nurse like messing with the strap to get, to alleviate some of the pressure, and she handed this strap to this nurse, and this nurse cried in front of her about how joyful she was to have something that would, cause some comfort for her during these long, like 12 to 15-hour shifts for these nurses and doctors.
Do you have one you can show?
What's that?
Do you have one that you could show us?
I do not. I'm actually in my trailer right now. This is where I do a lot of my office work right now. Sure. So unfortunately, I don't have one to show. But if you guys visit my Facebook account, I post all the time the work that we're doing and the bundles that we're making. But to continue with your question, social media has been the outlet for us. I brought up the Neighbors Helping Neighbors initiative by Team Rubicon. That's part of it. But this isn't really a Team Rubicon operation. This is just a personal mission for my wife and I. But we're getting the help of my network of Team Rubicon volunteers who are well connected. And fortunately for us, they're the ones who are reaching out to me saying, hey, can you provide 25 straps for the emergency operations center that I'm volunteering at, or we're fortunate enough that we have I'm going to call him a partner in this. His name is Stryker. He came up to me. He's like, I'm well connected with both hospitals, emergency managers, and fire departments and so on. And he laid down the challenge. I'll say, like, I got people. I need 800 of these. I have that. I have the access to get this distributed. All right, I can do this. Let's do it. So my wife and I have been mass producing these for about a week now. Again, still trying to hone the right settings to make this, make production at a good quality at a steady rate. And so we're pushing along.
So how much does one cost you to make? And I know you're giving these away for free, and so
right,
personal expense coming out of this.
Let's see. I'm going to say a spool. We call them the filament spool. That's the material, the plastic material that we use. It roughly costs about $25 to $30, depending on the quality and the maker. But we'll just say $25 on Amazon for a spool, and each spool makes about 300 of these. I'm not good at math, so I'll let you deal with that. But I would say it's like it's pennies, pennies for each one. Yeah,
but still, there's still like. So you're still putting out $30 a spool. So if somebody wanted to help out with donating material for you for this effort, they could do it. They could contact you at the email that's at the bottom of the screen here, and be able to help out that way. If obviously I don't have a 3D printer at my house, so I can't really make them, but I could definitely help out by buying a spool and send it to you so you can keep your effort going.
Right.
Is there any last words you'd like to say to anybody out there who would like to help and like to, as you say in your elegant email or text message, to join your adventure, because it truly is an adventure.
It is an adventure. This is still new to me. We've only been doing this for a week, but we're seeing the need out there. And if you would like to participate in this adventure with us, again, you can email us at earstrapsavers at gmail.com, or earsaverstraps at gmail.com. Sorry, it's a new email. But because of the response, I needed to create an email for this.
Sure.
So earsaverstraps at gmail.com. If you want to reach out to me about how to participate, either through donations, if you're also a 3D printer person who can help participate in the number of production, our donation money that we're receiving right now on my Facebook account, or in my Facebook fundraiser, we're nearly at, I think, 500, our initial goal. But the idea with those donation dollars is to, buy the filament. But, we're only 2 machines here on my property. I've already reached out to other 3D printers, specifically who reached out to me, who want to join this cause. So those donation dollars are not just for supplying the printers that I have, but if someone comes out to us and says they can help print, we will then use those donation dollars to supply the filament to them as well and ship it to their house. And then we'll correspond on the logistics on how we would go about collecting the straps that they make. If we continue to receive a really good amount of donation dollars, we might end up buying a third 3D printer to continue mass producing even faster.
Cool. Awesome.
But anything can help. Again, email either to find out how to donate, how to join this cause, or even provide information if you want to receive straps.
Awesome. Jonathan, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, Todd. Glad to be here.